All right. Hi, everybody. Good morning, Dr. Arafij. Vet Triage, Sunday, September 9th, 8:06 a.m. Pacific time. And we are doing another journal review. It's boom, JAVMA from December 2017. And this is a study looking at puppy socialization. There it is. Puppy socialization practices of a sample of dog owners from across Canada and the United States. And before I get started, shout out to my friend Brandon McMillan, who many of you may know from Shark Week, as well as a bunch of dog training shows, and he's very active on social media, so feel free to follow him on Instagram. He and I worked on a few projects together, and he's very, very good at what he does. So this is a study from the University of Guelph in Ontario, Canada, and they looked at identifying actions taken by pet owners to socialize puppies who are less than 20 weeks of age to determine factors affecting attendance of structured puppy classes and to examine associations between attendance and the owner's response to various undesirable puppy behaviors. So they wanted to see how many pet owners follow through with puppy socialization in dogs that are less than 20 weeks of age, and also see if there's any association between attending these puppy classes and having dogs with bad behavior. 296 puppy owners, each with one puppy, were sampled, and the survey at enrollment, the survey was performed at the time of enrollment, as well as when puppies were 20 weeks of age. So they had this survey done twice for these pet owners. The responses were compared between pet owners who did and did not attend puppy class. So overall, the results, just under 50%, 49% of respondents reported attending puppy classes. So half of the respondents attended puppy class. Attendees exposed their puppies to a greater number of people and other dogs, as well as to various noise situations. Puppies of attendees were less likely than puppies of non-attendees to have signs of fear in response to noises such as thunder and vacuum cleaners, as well as to crates. Fewer attendees reported use of punishment-based discipline techniques than did non-attendees. So the conclusion based on the study was that there are opportunities for veterinarians to serve an important role in educating puppy owners about the importance of early socialization and positive reward training. So let's go into some details on the study. So we know that it's important in society to have well-behaved dogs. They provide physiologic, psychological, and social benefits for the humans involved. So we want dogs to behave. Development of behavior problems in dogs is a leading cause of breakdown in the human-animal bond and to risk for relinquishment into animal shelters, where up towards 49% of owners describe behavior issues as a reason why they give their pets up for adoption. That's huge. Previous studies have shown that the critical period for socialization of puppies begins around 2 or 3 weeks of age and go towards about 14, maybe 16 weeks of age. That's a critical time period where you want to train the puppies. And that also coincides with when puppies are receiving vaccinations at the vet, making it a likely or a strong opportunity for veterinarians to talk about socialization of puppies during their vaccination regimen. All right, next, let's see. Another study that looked at puppies that attended classes offered by a humane society reported an increase with retention rate of dogs that were adopted by 14%. So if you train the puppies, if you socialize them appropriately, it actually increases retention by 14% of those dogs who are adopted from a humane society. The education program that was cited in this journal article contained information on normal puppy behavior. So for example, chewing, biting, house training, activity, exercise, and crate training. It also included information for strategies for prevention of behavior problems. So socialization and methods for prevention of aggression, separation anxiety, and unwanted barking and jumping. And it also included basic puppy care. So things like items that you need, budgeting, obedience, and training options for for them, as well as veterinary care. And then finally, having life with a puppy. So considerations concerning puppy interactions with babies or children moving to a new home. So pretty well-rounded. The survey collected demographic information regarding pet owners as well, information about the puppy, and also the participants were asked whether they gathered information on raising a puppy prior to acquiring the puppy. Participants that reported attendance at puppy classes were asked about the number of classes attended, the number of puppies and instructors in the classes, the activities completed, and they were asked to keep track of these at 2-week intervals. Okay, another series of questions asked participants to indicate how their puppy reacted to meeting other people and meeting dogs. And there were a bunch of different options that they were given to select from of how their dog interacted or how the dog responded to other people or other dogs. All right, so let's move on here so now this is a more thorough explanation of the results. Like we said, 49% took their puppy to puppy classes. Almost 27% of these classes were 6 classes in duration. 59% said that their class had 1 instructor. The number of puppies most often were between 4 and 6 per class. That made up 47.6% of the respondents' answers. There were a wide range of activities in puppy classes: sitting, down, recalling, loose leash walking, and watch me or attention activities. Over 80% of classes attended had those types of activities. Less than 50% of puppies were exposed to activities such as trading up, listening to noises, and training to go on a mat. So for those who don't know, I had to look this up as well. I actually asked Brandon what the definition of trading up was. And trading up is where you are trying to train a behavior for a pet without the pet fearing loss of an item or food or something like that. So it's kind of, to me, I read it as being training for the sake of training. So there's no fear of losing something if you don't do the training appropriately. And I guess it's maybe under the category of positive training techniques, where if you do the activity correctly, you get rewarded for it. Less than 50% of puppies were exposed to things like trading up, listening to noises, and training to go on a mat. 69.7% of respondents that attended puppy classes indicated that a specific period was provided for puppies to play together during the classes. So all that sounds pretty solid. Okay, so during the 20-week survey, the respondents reported exposing their puppies to an increasing number of other dogs and people as the puppies grew older. 1/3 of puppies received only minimal exposure to people or dogs outside of their household. So that's a pretty low number. That's pretty crazy. Puppies that attended puppy classes had exposure to a greater number of dogs, and the same pattern was observed for exposure to people. And then regarding fear, during the 20 weeks, owners reported little fear towards most exposures. So when they attended the classes, a greater participant reported frequency of puppies' exposure to all evaluated stimuli except walking off leash and going to the park. So for most of these behaviors, those who attended the classes reported that their puppies had exposure to those things. Also, through attendance, there was a lower reporting of puppies reacting in a scared manner or being startled in response to thunder or vacuum cleaner. And also, if you attended the classes, there were fewer reports of puppies reacting in a scared manner to crate training, and a greater number of puppies reported to appear excited when seeing a bicycle. So these are all kind of common day-to-day activities that your dog could get exposed to. And clearly, based on this, those who attended showed more favorable reactions to these stimuli. During the 20-week survey, most respondents indicated that they gradually exposed their puppy to fearful situations. That made up 79.4%, and rewarded calm behavior, which is 72% incidence. Okay. So 89.5% indicated that they rewarded their puppies correct behavior, and 88.9% indicated that they redirected their puppies' behavior. So that's pretty good, because we do believe nowadays that punishment-based behavior correction is not the way to go. So it's nice that they're using these methods if they attended these classes. Owners that attended puppy classes were more likely to report use of redirection and rewarding correct behavior and ignoring unwanted behavior. Those who did not attend classes were more likely to report verbal corrections or holding their puppy down on its back to try and correct the behavior. And also those puppies were more likely to have fearful reactions to noise. So pretty telling. Now, when you look at the demographic information, because this also affects who attends puppy classes and who doesn't, it's no surprise that those who have annual incomes over $90,000 had a greater chance of attending puppy classes. And of course, because puppy classes cost money, and those who don't have dispensable income, even if they want to attend socialization classes with their puppy, cannot do so because of financial limitations. Respondents that reported they had gathered information about puppy care and behavior before getting their puppy had a greater odds of attending classes. So that makes sense, right? If you are if you're desiring to be a puppy owner and you do your research ahead of time to figure out all the details about that, well, then you're probably more likely to pursue other trainings, other educational materials after you acquire the puppy. Folks who tend to be more prepared for these types of big life choices like getting a dog, they usually are going to invest preemptively and proactively. Those who don't have children also had a higher chance by twofold to attend classes. And those who lived in suburban areas also were more likely to attend puppy classes by a factor of 2.5. So now into the discussion. And the critical periods for socialization for dogs is between 3 and 12 weeks, or up to 16 weeks, depending on the study. In another study that looked at 6-week puppy classes revealed that puppies attending those classes were more likely to have a positive response to strangers. And the same goes for children. If they have early exposure to children, they're more likely to be nice to children when exposed to them later in life. Same goes for interacting with other dogs. If they are exposed to dogs early on in life, they are more likely to show a positive reaction to dogs later on. In another study in the UK, they found that only 27% of puppies attended socialization classes, and in this study it was 49%. In a US study, it was found that 13% attended classes, so pretty bad numbers there. Veterinarians specifically have regular contact with owners of young puppies and are in a good position to educate them because, like I said, they received the vaccines during this critical period, and so that's the best time for veterinarians to bring it up. The American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior state that puppy socialization should occur before puppies are fully vaccinated. Previous research shows that dogs that attend puppy socialization classes respond better to commands than other dogs. I mean, there's no surprise there, right? This is all kind of common sense stuff, but it's always good to see it in a publication with actual data. So other studies show that the higher educated a pet owner is, the more likely they are to pursue classes. However, in this study, it did not show that. Income and where they lived was a bigger factor in whether they had kids or not. And then they also do mention that there may be some level of targeted advertising in suburban areas, as well as also easier access to classes, puppy training classes in suburban areas versus rural areas. That may be why you see more folks who live in suburban regions more likely to attend these puppy classes. The use of confrontational training methods, such as holding a puppy down its back, has been associated with an expression of aggressive behavior in dogs. 29% of dogs placed in a dominance down position by their owners reported having more aggression. Only 2% acted this way when they had behavior modification interventions, which is preferred. So that's pretty striking difference there. Thunder is the most commonly reported fear, although in this study they do mention that it's unknown how many times a dog actually was exposed to thunder noises, even though that the respondents reported that they responded better to thunder during socialization classes, but vacuum cleaning is very, very common. And so they report an improvement there. Same thing goes for fireworks as well. Fireworks and thunder usually happen at the same time. And so both those things are the most common reason why dogs get scared of noises. Overall, puppies that attended classes were less likely to have fear towards those noises. Appropriate methods of noise exposure or completion of noise desensitization exercises during class were performed. Approximately 1/3 of puppy programs attended by puppies included noise desensitization exercises. Conversely, puppies that were exposed to positive punishment-based approaches to behavior management were more likely to have signs of fear in response to noises. Positive punishment and fear-related behaviors of dogs are reportedly linked, whereby use of positive punishment is associated with an increase in number of behavioral problems such as fear response. So the study finishes off by saying that only 51 to 65% of veterinarians actually discuss puppy training during the puppy and kitten examinations. And so the benefit to veterinarians taking on this opportunity is that they can give the pet owner not only exposure to socialization classes and how important they are to the dog getting older, but also veterinarians can provide additional information and resources on dog socialization and behavior, dog trainers, behaviorists, credible online information to make sure that when they do try to socialize the puppy, they're using efficacious and safe methods to do so. So that's the study. That's in JAVMA, December 2017. Hope that helped you folks out. Thanks again for those who watched in the playback. We'll see you again tomorrow for another journal review. Take care. Bye.